So today we're back, Laura, after I guess it's been a month. Have we done this? It's been about a month. Laura has been doing this journey of sharing her going gray journey. And so where are you at now with it, Laura?
Well, at a very interesting phase, I think. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still having fun with wearing it just au naturel, but I find depending on how I style my hair, it's a very different look.
Yeah.
So we have, this look, and that's fine. And if I pull it back, you get to really see. You see, that's what I've kind of used little clips sometimes and pulled it up like this. And then you see the fan of the dark, but you see the white because my white is like a headband almost. It's just right here in the front. And the further I go back, it's more of a mix. And then there's some dark streaks here and there. And I even see some of my new hairs coming in, a few dark hairs here too. So it's not like solid. It's just,
Wow.
so it's hard to make a fixed decision, all this or all that, because, it's in between and I'm enjoying the in between.
Right.
That's, and in fact, like, I'll go over this way, you see, and it's a kind of a different look altogether, depending on which way I toss my hair, or if I part it down the center, of course, it's a different thing altogether. That's when you really get to see, oh, there's the black back there, from the roots black, because there's still plenty of colored hair too. It's just all about how it's styled, but so
Right.
far I think I'm really liking the contrast still. And if I push it around like this, and then interesting, see, you can see the white through here. You
Yeah.
can see depending, like, well, if I push my hair a certain way, it's like, wow, where did that all come from? Well, it's just there, it's just just underneath. And there's so it's enjoyable right now. And yet as I've mentioned to you, I'm not thinking that it's going to be the ultimate goal to go all white, because, and I'll show you, as fun as this is in contrast, I want to show you what the all white look sort of is. And that's without putting on the wig that I mentioned or anything, but this is just
Right.
my white. And so if I pull it like this so that the white headband part is visible, and then this is kind of like almost a black pom-pom on the top. It looks like I could be wearing a hat or something. Or
It does.
sometimes I have it all brushed and it looks like a little pillbox hat or something. It's not even fluffy. But when you see this, and say if you block it out, then you're like, oh wow, who is that old lady with her hair back in a French twist or something? I mean, it's like, whoa, what a stark difference that is versus this, or this. I mean,
And then the way you had it right from the start, we could almost barely see any gray.
right. Yeah. This
Like
way. It looked like, oh, just like as if I
a
had
tiny little wisp.
a streak. It
A
looked like,
streak.
oh, she's got one of those
Yeah.
streaks in the front.
Yeah.
But then you see, oh, a little more than a streak. I mean, it's like,
So,
as I say,
and your hair can get away with this more than someone with straight hair, because you have so much.
probably because the natural curl
The
aspect
curls are,
covers and hides things in different ways. It's the curls have their own artistic function.
they do. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. So,
Well,
I wanted to say there's a new
okay.
thing that I'm considering though,
Okay.
because since I don't want to be all white
Right.
based on what I just showed you,
Right.
and I don't want to keep dyeing my hair. I really don't. I love this not dyeing it. It's wonderful. It feels so freeing. And I was pretty much decided on, well, I think maybe when it gets a little bit too washed out looking, I'll go ahead and dye it brown again. I use all these natural dyes that have, low peroxide and no ammonia. And I'm just looking for the most benign, most life enhancing thing I could use. Because again, I'm real concerned about what colors I use. And I talked about maybe doing a color like a teal, but I just found in my files, so to speak, I've got so much research and different things over 30 plus years of working with hair naturally. There is a sage rinse. It's not just sage, there's rosemary and other things added to it. But according to this person who created this, if you apply it several times a week or after a couple of weeks, your silver hair takes on this color, this deep, rich, dark color. So, I don't know, but I'm going to try it. I didn't want to try it before today in case it ended up making this, what mine is really white, if it ended up making it kind of, I don't know what did the first, of application do, but I'm going to start it tomorrow. So the
Oh,
next time we do one of these, I will
okay.
probably put it on about 2 or 3 or maybe even 6 times, and we can see what that effect is. And then maybe I might put off coloring way longer, or, certainly indefinitely, depending on what the result is. I'm
Right,
not sure if it will be, well, I can't know until I try it, because
right.
any of these suggestions, they work for some of the people some of the time.
Yeah,
If nothing works for all the people all the time, whether it's a hair loss remedy or a hair coloring remedy or whatever it is you're trying to,
right.
sell somebody on. You just have to try it for yourself and see what your own unique response is. But that is my next plan of action. I'm going to do
Woo!
these herbal rinses to see
Okay.
what kind of color they impart on my hair just from doing the rinse. And you just put it on right after you've washed your hair, so it's fresh with no other product in the way. And we'll just see what effect that has.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very least, I know that I'm really comfortable with doing the process over again. you know, Coloring it dark and then just going through this, because I've been doing this since August, and it's been so fun to see it evolve
Wow.
and see what kind of different styles I can do with it. But you see, if I just keep letting it grow, I won't have the contrast anymore. And
Right.
I'm not willing to do that either.
You need the contrast, but someone else might not. So it really depends. And so people can actually
Yeah,
get consultations with you about how to do this and explore for themselves.
exactly. Because there's so many things that I can see in a consultation with someone, and I can discuss their skin tone. I can discuss really what their hair is capable of doing, but we can investigate and see what color gray are they, and does that go with their skin tone, or is it spotty all different places on their head, or is it a consistent kind of gray, and just knowing those things. And then the consultation sometimes goes beyond color into, someone called the other day and she's been styling her hair just sort of off to the side like this with a clip kind of thing, but with her it looks very severe and very, and with her I could just have her pick a few different little strands from here. Now if I pull these strands down and they're white, you see, they wouldn't hardly even show. It wouldn't be like I've got wisps as bangs at all. But with her, we're able
Right.
to pick the right ones and put them in. And so all of a sudden it's really soft and sweet. She doesn't have to change her hair dramatically. This was something she could do on her own. And I coached her over the phone. I mean, it's not
Amazing.
like she even had to take notes and go to a hairdresser. I was like, no, you can just like get 2, 3 wisps down here. By wisps, I mean little clumps, and not
Right.
just a
Yes.
hair. And
Yeah.
then another one over here. And once she pulled them down, and of course they were way too long like this, coached her on how to trim them at this right angle. And it was so adorable. And we just did this all on the consult. And she's just liberated and feels so happy now with her hair. And the overall cut, she'll go to somebody else with some notes, because
Right.
I could see that the last time someone did it, it wasn't actually too even and stuff. And
Uh-huh.
also the things like I've always talked about the swirl that we have, that hair always goes forward more readily on one side and back on the other.
Mhm.
And we can see these things in consultations where there
Mhm.
might be totally balanced hair, but because one side pushes forward, it's going to, and flips up, it's going to look different than the other side that kind of curves back and tucks in. They might be cut exactly the same, but
Right.
because of the movement of the hair, look differently. So there's what I call the actual balance and then the aesthetic balance, which are
Mm.
changes and adaptations you make to create the overall balance look you want, even if literal balance doesn't do that for you. Yeah. So anyway,
That-
you can actually make some changes to your going natural process
Mhm.
with little styling adjustments too that make it work or not work. I mean, more, so it'll be more
Fantastic.
fun. Yeah,
Fantastic. And people can consult you for non-going gray issues. I mean, anything to do
totally.
with hair. I mean, you are a wealth of information. And so that's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yes. Any questions people have about style or hair health, whatever, I'm here.
Awesome.
Here, here, and happy to
Awesome.
talk with you.
Awesome. Well, I think that's good for us today, right?
That's it. Just I wanted to give a quick update and say where I'm heading, and you will see what the herbs do for the next stage. So
I can't wait.
that'll be fun.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you. Take
You're
care.
welcome, Laura. Bye.
Bye.